So get your paper turned sideways like this. Okay, and we're going to start off by getting just our basic shapes, okay? So we're going to, yeah, shut the door. And you can, if you need to turn out one row of lights, you can. Just one light switch. There. Yeah. That'll work. Okay, so let's go ahead and sketch in the basic shape for the wings. So I'm going to draw just a line curving down. And then I'm going to make a little spot like that. And then I'm going to draw a line pointing back up in the air. So that's kind of the wingspan for this eagle. Okay. We're going to draw from right here. I'm going to draw a line that extends down a little ways. Just like that. And just like that. Turn back in. I'm going to draw a line right here to show me the thickness of this wing over here. And I'm going to use it as a guideline to see where to start this line for my eagle's stomach. Okay, I'm going to draw the shape for the rest of my wing here. And then I'm going to go back in and put some detail in it a little bit. You need me to make it darker? Okay. Just getting the basic shape. Then I'm going to draw legs. Okay, so that's my basic shape that I want to work with. So now I'm going to go through and make them a little bit fancier. So I'm going to draw a little point, I'm going to do about 4 of those, just like that. While I'm over here, I'll just draw in a little straight line and a little curved line underneath it for an eye. And I'm going to draw in a beak. And right about the middle of this part of the wing, I'm going to draw a zigzag line for feathers. Actually, I'm going to adjust it a little bit. Okay, this wing over here, I'm going to put just a little bump right there. And then on this end, I'm going to start drawing some individual feathers. 1, 2, 3. They're almost like little fingers, but they're feathers. our ripply line. And right about here, I'm going to put a little separation and another ripply line all the way around the edge here. I'm going to adjust that. I made it too much of a angle there. I'm going to make it more of a soft curve. Just like that. And then with the tail, I want to do a little bit of feather texture on the end of the tail here. And I'm just going to make those legs look a little more feathery, not put such even lines. Okay, this line should be pretty much my only very smooth line. Now for the claws, they're going to fit into that little space that I drew, but I want to separate them. Okay, so basically he's flying down and he's getting ready to land on this tree stump thing over here. So if you want to add a little something for him to land on, you can do that. And what I'm going to do now is start adding in the shading. So I want to create a little section right here that's very dark. This section is going to be very dark, and then these little feather ends are going to be dark as well. And then I'm going to make this back edge of the wing dark, and I'm going to fade it to light as I come forward. But it's not going to get really light. It's just going to get kind of light gray. Kind of like that. Fade it to light as it comes forward. And the head, I'm going to basically leave it white, but I am going to add just a little bit of a shadow right under his chin. Just a light gray, don't make it very dark. And a little bit of a shadow under his beak. I'm going to adjust his beak a little bit to make it a little bit of shadow there, and make the rest of it light gray. So there's my head and my wing. This section of his body is very dark. There's a light section right here on his back, but then the rest is pretty dark, so shade that in dark. If you have a wooden pencil, you can turn it on its side to make that process go a little more quickly. Okay, when you get to about here, just put a little V shape in and leave the rest of the tail alone for the moment. And then you can shade in the leg. Make sure you darken in this line if it's kind of disappearing on you. And shade in this leg too. Might make it a little darker since it's further away. I'm going to make this leg a little darker at the back edge. Okay, so my wing is going to be all very dark too, except for a little light ridge that's right here. So everything else is going to be very dark. Almost like it's a silhouette. So obviously an eagle is an important symbol to Americans. It's our national bird, right? Did you guys know that our national bird, if I think it was Benjamin Franklin, if he had had his way, it would have been a turkey. That's right. You guys remember. Cool. I'm kind of glad he didn't get his way. I like turkeys, but I'm not sure I want it to be my national bird. Me too. And I felt lost my pencil. So shade in that wing. There's my eagle's wing. And I need to erase my guideline where I don't need it anymore. So that guideline that was helping me find the shape, I can just erase that. Go ahead and reshape your feathers a little if you need to. Okay, and then your tail, since it's the underneath side of the tail, even though it's white, we're going to just give it a little bit of shadow. Just a little light gray shadow. And then we'll do an extra little darkish line right there, an extra little dark lines just to give the feather texture coming up. And let's shade in its talons a little bit on the underneath side especially. And then this little tree stump that he's going to land on. Add just a little bit of texture to it, a little bit of dark value here and there. So once you're pretty happy with the overall look of your eagle and the place for your eagle to land, something else that you might want to do is add a little bit of detail to your skunk, because flying through the air, right? So if you want to add some clouds or something. Sketch in some clouds. Whatever else that you want to add to your picture. And you have yourself an eagle. Make sure you remember and put your artist signature in the bottom right hand